As the zombie virus spreads across the globe, most governments issue orders to shelter in place. Against this backdrop, Ethan drives down a rainy road at night with his girlfriend, Emma. Suddenly, blinding headlights flash across their path, and Ethan jolts awake from his nightmare, finding himself alone in the car. The passenger seat is empty, and blood stains are scattered across the interior. Ethan's head throbs, his memory blank. He has no recollection of what happened that night. All he knows is that he had a girlfriend, and they were driving somewhere together. As he wanders around, he spots a local named Hunter in a nearby neighborhood and explains he's lost and doesn't know where he is. Without hesitation, Hunter raises his gun to shoot. Just then, a stranger hidden in the shadows attacks, and Ethan quickly ducks behind a wall as Hunter and his driver are shot down. The woman with the gun approaches and knocks down Hunter as he tries to stand. She tries to start his car and, finding the engine still functional, is thrilled. She calls Ethan over to help drag Hunter's body away, but he slumps lifelessly to the ground. When Ethan came to, he found himself lying in the back of a truck. He drifts back into dreams of Emma and then wakes in a strange room. Cautiously, he goes downstairs, where he finds the woman cooking in the kitchen. Through their conversation, he learns her name is May, and she lives alone in this secluded cabin. May embraces nature, using a generator to power her cabin at night. Ethan starts to recall fragments of his past, remembering he and Emma had planned to seek refuge at a cabin by Candle Lake. Although Emma is missing, he believes she may have gone ahead and is waiting there. Suddenly, the power cuts out. May hurries outside to check the situation, with Ethan following out the back door. Beyond the house is a desolate landscape, and Hunter's truck is parked nearby, with a trail of blood leading back to it, showing May had dragged Hunter's body here. Ethan circles around, looking for someone, and is startled by a skeleton draped in cobwebs. May walks over calmly and begins repairing the solar panel, explaining that the skeleton is named Myrtle, and as long as it isn't disturbed, it's harmless. Ethan glances at the generator, sensing an odd familiarity. Realizing he has some expertise with machinery, he takes over the repairs and quickly gets the generator running again. May leads him to check her traps, and they find a mole caught in one. As the sun sets, May carefully locks the door as soon as she returns to her room and warns Ethan not to touch anything, as the house is full of traps. After a hearty meal, Ethan helps May generate electricity by pedaling a bike-powered generator, while a record player fills the room with a romantic tune. May, holding a glass of wine, sways to the music, seemingly at peace despite the apocalyptic world outside. But Ethan can't stop thinking about Emma. The cabin may be safe, but he feels he has to leave soon. May pulls Ethan close, urging him to dance. When he tries to excuse himself, she insists they play a game of cards. In the dim light, Ethan notices a scar on May's face and asks how she got it. May evades the question, claiming she's tired and heading upstairs. She tells him he's free to leave to find his girlfriend, though she warns him of the dangers lurking in the night.
Have a good night's sleep. We'll find her tomorrow.
Pretending to agree, Ethan heads to the second-floor bedroom. After May goes to sleep, he sneaks out, starts Hunter's truck, and drives away. Following road signs, he finds Candle Lake is still 22 kilometers away. Fighting drowsiness, he speeds through the night, memories flashing through his mind. Ethan finally arrived at his destination in the middle of the night, got out of the car and picked up the crowbar. He approaches the old cabin carefully, calling out for Emma. Silence greets him. Finding no response, he uses the crowbar to break a window and reach in to unlock the door. Just then, a strange woman appears, ordering him to drop the crowbar. Behind the sofa, a young boy named Sam is hiding. It appears this mother and son duo took refuge in the seemingly abandoned cabin. Ethan apologizes, explaining he meant no harm and was only looking for his girlfriend. The woman scolds him, pointing out how loudly he'd been calling at the door, which could easily attract zombies. She's proven right as a swarm of zombies begins gathering just outside the cabin. In the middle of the struggle, the woman rushes to the door, attempting to hold it shut as zombies press forward. Ethan joins her, and together, they manage to close it, severing a few zombie fingers in the process. But the undead are relentless. One reaches through the window, grabbing at the woman's hair. Moments later, another zombie crashes through the brittle wooden door, latching onto the woman and refusing to let go. Sam, ignoring his own safety, rushes to help his mother. Ethan, desperate to assist, tries to fire his gun but finds it empty. Seizing Sam's fallen hammer, he smashes the zombie's head, splattering dark, viscous blood everywhere. At last, the zombie backs off, though its skull remains half intact, still animated by the virus. Ethan scans the area, now even more troubled about Emma's fate. In addition, he learned that the woman's name was Jolene and that she had been living here for several weeks. She had never met another living person except Ethan, which meant that Emma might never have been here. Still, Ethan clings to a sliver of hope. That evening, they both struggle to sleep and end up talking about life before the catastrophe. Ethan's memories are patchy, but his thoughts always seem to return to Emma. He recalls that the virus was declared a plant-based infection, causing strange flora to sprout where it spread, an eerie manifestation of Earth's own cleansing attempt. During the chat, Ethan fell asleep without realizing it. When he woke up, he found the door open and a pool of blood on the carpet. He recalls fragments from the previous night. Zombies once again storming the cabin. Jolene now lies in a bloody heap, with plants beginning to sprout near her ear. Realizing he can't delay any longer, Ethan grabs the hammer and leaves. Outside, he sees a zombie covered in moss and vines gnawing on a corpse. Sam's. Moments later, the same creature reappears, grass sprouting from its neck. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out, and the zombie collapses, shot dead by May. Moving swiftly, she fires again, dispatching Jolene and Sam's bodies to prevent reanimation. Searching for any trace of Emma, Ethan stumbles upon a makeshift bird's nest Emma had crafted. Inside, he finds her phone, containing a video. The video reveals that Ethan's amnesia began even before they fled, causing Emma great distress as she struggled to help him. He was unable to obtain any valuable information before the phone ran out of power. May offered to lend him her charger, though he doesn't remember May due to his amnesia. Ethan follows her, hoping to restore the phone. With the truck battery drained, they set off by bike. On the way, they pass zombies with skeletal frames and lush plant growth sprouting from their wounds. At a small gas station, Ethan experiences flashes of memory, recalling his last stop there with Emma and a fight with a zombie, but his mind offers no further answers, so he pushes on. They arrive at May's place near sunset. May hesitates before unlocking the door and circles the house, spotting a man named Tom. He claims he's there to see if anyone was using the cabin's water and electricity. May asks if he has any weapons, and Tom, clearly lying, says he doesn't. May insists Ethan search Tom, and only when he's found clean of weapons does she agree to offer him food, with the condition that he works for his meal. While Tom chops wood with Ethan, May goes inside to cook. Tom is dishonest and quietly hides a weapon under the pretext of going to the toilet. May is unaware and even serves them lemonade. Then she takes the two men back to the room to eat. Tom can't wait to walk to the table, but May stops Ethan, implying that he is not hungry and not to touch the food. Though confused, Ethan obeys. Despite his intense hunger, Tom then shows Ethan a photo of his missing wife, Franny, explaining that he's been searching for her for 10 days. A severe headache suddenly overwhelms Ethan, and he collapses. May rushes to help, but Tom pulls a gun, seizing control of the situation. Unbeknownst to him, May had laced the food with expired sedatives, and Tom quickly succumbs to drowsiness. Taking advantage, May knocks him out, then searches for medicine for Ethan. When Ethan wakes, Tom is unconscious beside him, but two new strangers arrive, one of whom binds May to a chair. During the confrontation, a red vial falls to the floor. May insists it's just insulin for her diabetes, but her captors don't believe her. Tom orders them to search the place, suspecting May killed Franny and demanding Ethan help find evidence. Initially, Ethan doubts May's guilt until he finds Emma's necklace, sparking doubt. Meanwhile, May notices a gun on the table, waiting for her chance. Wolf, the guard, grows curious about the barn outside and orders his partner to stay with May while he investigates. He uses an axe to cut the barn's chains. At this time, Tom came downstairs with a backpack full of various small objects, including Franny's accessories. Ethan picked up the gun on the table suspiciously and questioned May, asking if Emma's belongings were here because she was already dead.
Is she dead?
When?
Tom also used the gun to interrogate May and wanted to know the whereabouts of Franny. Faced with the interrogation, May had to reveal the truth and tell Ethan that he was actually dead. The scene shifts to a barn, where Wolf unlocks the door and discovers a small, makeshift operating room inside. Hunter lies on the surgical bed, missing his left forearm. Wolf turns to report back but accidentally triggers a trap, setting off an explosion. Tom peeks inside to see the barn ablaze, with a cobweb-covered zombie devouring Wolf's corpse. Meanwhile, the violent blast triggers Ethan's memory of the cabin. It wasn't the zombies outside that killed Jolene. In a fit of insanity, he had done it himself. Tom readies to kill May in revenge, but her gun has been modified. With a single shot, Tom's arm is blown apart. May seizes the moment to escape, while Ethan, driven mad by the smell of blood, attacks Tom in a frenzy. May, now unfazed by such horrors, remains calm. She knows Ethan will forget everything by the next morning, and they'll meet again as strangers. The next day, as expected, Ethan remembers nothing of May and assumes she's just a stranger who saved him, and familiar surroundings spark Ethan's memories of Emma. They'd once passed through here and noticed a nearby house with electricity, owned by a couple, Kai and his wife, who had a daughter named Caroline. Kai offered to provide them with food, as long as they weren't infected, to prove they were clean. Emma and Ethan stripped down, showing their uninjured bodies. Ethan was left in only his underwear and the cast on his wrist. Seeing this, Kai warmly invited them inside. Ethan noticed a family photo on the table and realized Kai also had a son who wasn't around, likely a victim of the virus. He instinctively reached for his cast, but Emma stopped him. Then Ethan noticed something strange. The writing on his cast was now green, though he remembered it being pink. He points his gun at May, demanding an explanation. May confesses that she ran out of her red marker, and this change in color has inadvertently unlocked Ethan's memories. He recalls a crucial moment at a gas station. He'd shot a zombie but failed to kill it, allowing it to bite his wrist. The wound quickly showed signs of infection, but Emma, unwilling to lose him, covered the bite with a cast. As long as Ethan continued eating, the infection would not spread, though it caused frequent memory loss. Soon after Kai's family took them in, Ethan's condition became obvious. He could no longer control the changes in his body. Emma told Ethan to hide in the bathroom, while she faced Kai alone. Kai ordered his wife to hide with Caroline, then drew his gun and interrogated Emma. Kai's wife, however, was sympathetic and went upstairs to check on Ethan, only to scream in horror. Emma instantly grabbed a fruit knife and stabbed Kai, who grabbed her head and smashed it hard against the porcelain board. Enduring the pain, Emma picked up a gun and shot Kai, leaving a scar etched permanently on her face. Shortly after, Ethan brutally killed Kai's wife and daughter, slaughtering the very family that had taken them in, and claimed their once cozy home. As time passed, Emma aged, taking on the new identity of May, and continued to hunt humans to feed Ethan. Due to his memory loss, Ethan remained trapped in the day they first fled together. While he occasionally regained fragments of his past, he would forget them again by the next morning. He no longer recognized the aged Emma, nor remembered the countless humans he had consumed. Only the writing on his cast kept changing, until the red marker ran out. Upon learning the truth, Ethan tried to end his life, only to find even bullets couldn't kill him. In the end, he accepted his fate, choosing to face the future with Emma. The film ends here. The first half might seem slow, lacking tension, but the final twists pack a punch. When viewers learn that Emma and May are the same person, they're encouraged to look back and see the clever foreshadowing and setups crafted by the director. This is a love story set against a post-apocalyptic backdrop. Emma's undying dedication to protecting a boyfriend who constantly forgets her and has become a cannibalistic creature. While chilling, it explores the nature of love and its limits, reminiscent of Luca Guadagnino's films, with their profound reflections on humanity and romance. Ultimately, the male lead fairy tale-like acceptance of their shared future leaves a haunting impression on the audience.